So remember here. So this is a short answer type questions. Okay, how many marks for each question? 3. Okay, particularly in this question number 8, what are the topics will be there, my dear? What are the topics means text wise, prose, poem, and then supplementary is there. Okay, which are the topics will be there? Which are the prose and then poem? Okay, in extracts it will differ. First extracts is a combination of prose and then drama. Prose and then drama. Second extract is a combination of purely it's a combination of the poem. Okay, but here it will differ both the short answer type and long answer type. Here you will be getting like okay prose and then the what it is, my dear, poem, and then here purely it will be a yes what it is supplementary questions. Okay, let me get into it. So already we know that letter to God means you should remember this word. What it is, my dear? Faith. This is a key word for a topic, a letter to God. And then here the question is, okay, he was a devout and then faithful man. Elaborate on his character, his unwavering belief in God. Okay. So very first you should elaborate his character. According to the question, what we should do, my dear? We should elaborate his character. What sort of character he is? Okay. And then who has a very great faith in a God, like that you should start. And the next to that, the unwavering belief. Okay, I will show you this answer, how they have presented the answer. You have to write it. Okay. Very first what I am going to do there is I am going to project the question again. You are going to write the answer. Okay. And then leave some space for that. After that I will show the answer for the all 4 or 5 questions. Okay. Then what are the points you have missed that you are going to add in that space. Do you understand what I mean? Okay. And the next to that, how does the poet use the vivid? Vivid means what is the meaning for the word vivid, my dear? Clear. Okay, what it is? Clear. The clear imagery and metaphorically language in the poem name called what it is, my dear? The Ball poem. The title itself what it is? The Ball poem. It is not the ball. Okay, the Ball poem. Okay, is effectively convey in the theme of loss. This is what the most important word, and then this is actually a fleeting of nature in a childhood. Okay, it is going to be like a reminiscence again. Any other lesson you can remember that which is like a remembrance of the childhood? A baker from a Goa, which was written by Lucio. Okay, and the next Coorg was written by Lokesh Abrol, and then Kumar Datta, T from Assam. Okay, and the next to that, how does, see the sentence, how does the Madam Rides the Bus challenges the societal norms and then the expectation. So hereby you should remember this lesson shows that what are the societally, what are the norms they have. Okay, and then most importantly their expectations, particularly when the Valli rides the bus. Okay, what are the norms she has to follow? N number of people raised a question. Okay, and then how it is very challenging like anything when they have expected like anything. And then regarding the gender roles and independence. So in this point you can remember the another particularly in the last point independence. Okay, there you should remember the another poem also. What is that, my dear? Amanda. Amanda was written by, my dear, Robert. Okay, don't forget this. Writer's name is very important. Simple in extracts they will give you. If it is in a multiple choice option means you easily will pick that. Even with the help of omitting option you will go ahead and then you will find out the answer for it. If they are given in a fill in the blanks and then the writer names means definitely. Already I told you that in index point you just write that the one word for every title, write faith. Okay, which means that lesson teaching something about what it is, my dear, inevitable of death. This lesson teaching something about taking a risk, and then this lesson is teaching something that how we should conquer the fear. Okay, there we have n number of lessons, right? Just write it, don't forget it. And the next word, the story, the Coorg portrays the significance of nature. What is meant by the word significance? Importance. Okay, essential importance of nature and its impact on human life. Okay, so very first you should write about the Coorg's, okay, the significance of nature, and the next to that how that nature impacts on life, human life. Okay, So that is going to be that, okay, first person perspective, okay. So Coorg means most probably we will be writing only about the Coorg and then where it is, panoramic view, everything you will be writing, okay. But the last one alone is very important. At least 2 points you should write it, okay, how the nature impacts the human life. And the next, the story Amanda, okay, is a powerful examples of the importance of empathy and then compassion. Write the word, ma. Write the word in the Amanda lesson. Take the Amanda textbook. Write this word. Okay. The empathy and then compassion. Actually, last class we have discussed. There I saw one question that whether the Amanda has obeyed his mother or not. Whether she is a disciplined girl or not. This is a question. Yes or no, my dear? Some people will be saying like no, because she was thinking like she wants to be like a mermaid, and then what it is, orphan. But the most important thing, whenever Rapunzel like anything, okay, whenever the mother like sounded like anything, Amanda, don't bite, okay, Amanda, okay, clean your places, okay. Whenever the mother made a word like anymore, most probably Amanda will not make any serious argument like anymore. She thinks that if I was there in that, if I am there in that position, okay, definitely I will be very happy. This words alone will not be there. Like that only. She is not a word like, okay, she is not an indisciplined like anymore, okay. She thinks like that, okay, that's it. So here we have a word that it is a powerful example of the importance of empathy and then compassion, okay. So this alone we are going to discuss now, okay. Let me get into the question now. Okay, first do one thing there, just write the answer for the questions, okay, write the answer for the question. Later we will discuss the answer, or else we will go ahead, because it has to be recorded, right. So we will go ahead with the discussion, but anyway bring up, which means you should remember your answer, my dear. Yes, see the word that in question, okay, first question in letter to God, how they have framed the question answer. See the answer, Lenenko, okay, which means Lenshaw, he was a protagonist, okay. Protagonist means morning only we have discussed. Opposite to protagonist, antagonist. Opposite to protagonist, antagonist. Some other lesson we have discussed like prosperity. No? Prosperity. Bakers from Goa, okay. The servants, okay. There they have discussed about the prosperity. Prosperity means what we have discussed? The happy, joy, okay. And then opposite to prosperity, my dear, adversity, right. Opposite to prosperity, adversity. Protagonist, antagonist. Prosperity, adversity, rhyming, okay. So let me get into it. So the letter to God, he was portrayed as a devout and then a faithful man. He firmly believes in the power of God. Not to write the answer. After write, listen ma, after discussion, we'll write, then we'll go get into the answer. He firmly believes the power of God and his ability to provide for his needs. Okay. And then this is evident in his letter to God, where he expresses, okay, his unwavering faith and trust in divine intervention, which means unwavering faith means where it has been proved, which means the very next Sunday, okay, what happened? He will be waiting for a postmaster, right? Okay, he was written a letter, and then he was not waiting like anymore. He was not thinking like, okay, just I have written a letter, definitely the God, how the God supposed to send the money. He may not question in his mind. The very Sunday, okay, the postmaster running like anything by collecting all the money, okay, and then he was moving along with that 70 pesos. But the which means the protagonist was standing very eagerly. So there is no wavering mind. Wavering means the changing one time to another time, okay, fixed, okay. He was very faith on the God. Despite facing hardships, Lenenko character remains resilient and hopeful, showcasing his strong belief in God's presence and his assistance, okay. So this should be a point, particularly this point is very, very important, these few points, okay. And the next to that, second question, the ball poem, okay. So the vivid means, just now we have discussed, a clear imagery, okay. The poet uses a vivid imagery, that is a metaphorically language. We know that metaphor, it's also a comparison, personification, comparison, simile, comparison. But what is the difference in these three, my dear? Simile means we will be getting what it is, my dear. Yes, what it is? The comparison will be made or patterned with the help of the word what it is? As or like. Without a as or like, if they made a same comparison means, then it will be compared as a metaphor. If they have compared any other non-living things with the living things means, it's a personification, okay. So metaphorically language in ball poem, which means they mention that too, despite the laws of innocence, the presence of childhood, the ball descriptions as bouncing down the street. It creates a visual of something precious being lost. So here lost means you should remember not only the ball, actually it represents that the poet was losing his childhood. The poet was losing his childhood. One certain question they have asked us, okay, there we have another set of question. They have asked the question, the ball is of course metaphorically, but what it is compared to, which means indirectly it compares to that, okay, in front of the poet itself, okay, he is losing his childhood. He lost his childhood, okay. And then ball is not just a toy, it is a metaphor, the boy's lost innocence. So here they have not compared to the childhood, they compared that, yes of course, when we will remember that we lost our childhood means when we lose our innocence. Okay, because when we got n number of experience, we will be grown up, we will be alert, adult like anymore, we will not behave like a kids, right? Say yes or no, my dear. When we are a kids like anymore, when you are very child like anymore, definitely you will be fascinated by n number of things. Right now, if the same thing was projected in front of you means, definitely you will not look alike as same. Okay, why? Because you are grown up, which means you lost your innocence, that's what. Okay, such a metaphor or imagery throughout the poem emphasize the theme of loss. So underline the word and write it. In the ball poem, what it is? A theme of loss. Loss means within a bracket you mentioned that two different, which means even childhood or else the boy lost his innocence. That's what you should remember. And the last most point alone, it's like an information like anymore. The need to cherish the moments of the childhood. Right now, when we are in a childhood, we should cherish the moment. We should not complain that, okay, because definitely it will be bounced down. Okay, in front of you, it will bounce towards the long distance, which means in front of you came to know about it, you are going to lose your childhood. That's it, okay. So that's what the point here, okay. So theme of the loss, within a bracket you mentioned that loss means, here they mentioned like childhood and even that, okay, the boy's innocence. Next question, see the question, Madam rides the bus. There they ask a question, what should of expectation, okay, the society, what should of expectation they have given? They are expecting like anymore, okay. So see the answer, the Madam rides the bus is a story of Valliyamai, which was written by, my dear? Valli Kannan, okay. Valliyamai, a young girl who bravely takes a bus ride alone, showcasing her independence and courage. Okay, in a society where girls are often expected to be protected and sheltered, this is a common sentence. Valli adventurous challenges these norms. Her confidence in navigating the journey without adult supervision defies the traditional gender roles. Okay, and then the story highlights the age and gender should not limit one's curiosity, desire for independence. Okay, and then most importantly here, one point we can add it. What is another? What is the one different point, my dear? My dear, there we have written one point. No, what sort of girl she is? Curious, sensitive. What it is? Sensitive. Okay, so that sensitiveness alone will help her to be like, okay, very grown up like anymore, okay. So that's point we can add it here, okay, sensitive story actually. So the keyword for it, the Madam rides the bus mean you should remember it, this is a sensitive story. And taking charge of one's own experience, okay. And the next question, Coorg, okay. See the point, how the nature has impacted the human life, see the point. It describes the beauty of the Coorg and emphasizing the healing of power of nature. Okay, any other lesson we have discussed that, okay, which lesson portrays that, okay, this is the only tool which helps her in her life. For example, like education, it's like a healing power. Boli, right? Okay, which is the healing power or which helps her there, the education. Okay, same like that here, what they have given there, the nature. Okay, the nature heals everyone, and then protagonist connection with the nature helps him find his laws and overcome his grief. This is a common term like anymore. Instead of that, you can replace anything. Okay, which is relevant to this point. Okay, which influence the humans, which means the nature influence the human's emotion and well-being. Okay, the common term, you can write this. And then poem, what is this ma? The poem Amanda reflects the concept of nagging of a young girl receives from her parents. She dreams of freedom from judgment and highlighting needs of understanding and patience. The poem teaches the emphasis with the children understanding their feelings and needs instead of imposing a constant restrictions. It's a call to parents and society. It's a call like warning to the parents to society to be the compassionate and recognizing the individual feeling. We should recognize the even the little one's individual feelings and aspirations of the very young minds. Okay, so this should be your answer. Okay, particularly this question we can give a relaxation. It's like a common. You can write it. Okay, the last 3 points. Okay, you can write by your own, and then you can write it how the nature gives it, which means healing like anymore, therapeutic like anymore. But remaining question you should remember it. We should highlight the most important points. Do you understand? Shall we write the answer now, my dear? Same question, same answer. Okay, I'll project you few minutes. Just go ahead, not to write it, just read it, and then with the help of the text you can add some more points also. Do you understand? Okay, I'll project the question, not the answer. Okay. Yes, go ahead with the questions.